Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy Stamp with Rachel. I'm Rachel Coon and it's our Fun Fold Friday. Today we'll be making a Speedy Recovery Z fold using a layout from the Lisa Studio. Lisa Stamp Studio. This is her layout. I'm just totally borrowing it, but she says it's the best Z fold. So I'm excited to share this with you. And let me go and hold I flip and we'll get stamping. All right, let me get this into view so you can see everything where it needs to be seen. I've been moving around everything in my craft room lately because it's been a crazy busy week with Stamp Camp prep. So that has made my work surface completely different, and now I have a little bit of a shadowing here, so we'll try to avoid this bottom right corner. It is a dark morning, so I have to have my lights on above my head. I can't just use my natural lighting, but welcome to Fun Fold Friday. Please comment in this Facebook live or after up until midnight, or even on my YouTube once I have it uploaded over there. One lucky person who comments will get the card I'm making today in the video sent to them in the mail. And this card is amazing. It is such a fun layout, and I've paired it with a couple different things. So I'm using the Speedy Recovery stamp set and the Designer Series paper. Let me find it. One sec. There we go. It's the Splendid Day Designer Series paper. It's a 12 by 12 and it's foils on one side and then flat images on the other. I'll show you more of that in just a second. All right, let me go ahead and open up this fun fold so you can see why it's so fun. So the front says, wishing you a speedy recovery, has this cute little spoon image from that stamp set. Then we have this belly band that we're gonna slide down. And once we take this part off, we're gonna open it up and we'll see this amazing Z panel fold here. Just super cute. So let me go ahead and show you each detail first. We have our little tissue box, our little get well flower bouquet, a little teacup. So when you're not feeling well, you know, tea is something that usually you'll drink. And then we have our little extra sending well wishes your way and a place for you to sign your name. Super fun fold. This one's great because it also stands so you can have it looking at it open at all times, and it really features a lot of that Designer Series paper that is just so beautiful, and you can see that it shines because it is a foil on this side here. All right, let me set this to the side carefully like so. We have to have the belly band because look, it's such a thick card that it will open all by itself, which is laying there flat. So we will not let it lay flat. It'll just be hanging out in that corner. There are lots of details to this one, so let me show you as best as I can, and then I will, of course, will have it over on my blog later today, probably not till after 3 because it's a busy day and I don't have anything ready for you on my blog yet, so I apologize for that, but measurements are soon to be coming. Let me go ahead and show you the Z fold part for the inside. This is the part that's probably the trickiest, and it needs a little bit of extra attention and details to it. Let me grab all my pieces for this one. So we have the panel for the inside is the gray granite, and it measures at I think it's 4.5 by 8.5, and I have it scored at 3 spots. All these measurements again will be over my blog, but you can kind of see our score marks here. This is the halfway at the 4.25. And then we have our DSP panels right here, which we'll need to trim. And we also need to find my basic white one. I have them in a pile over here. Let's see if I can find them again. Oh, here they are. To the right of me, not the left of me. So we have them in 4 different sizes. So these two are a little bit different. These ones are different. They're all at least by 2 inches, but it's okay because we're going to cut off the tops here in just a minute. Let me go ahead and put these aside and let's focus on this guy here. So when you grab your pencil, and we're going to mark the 2-inch mark here on this right corner. So what I'm going to do is grab my paper trimmer, which I use a lot of times just to measure things with. And then on this So it's going to be on my right side, but it's easier for me to see the 2-inch on here. So I'm going to move this to the 2-inch line there. And then I'm going to make just a little tick with my pencil. And then we're going to flip this over, and we need to get it so that way the corner of the top left, so here's the paper again, here's my left side, here's my right side, and we're going to cut from the 2-inch mark to that top corner. So we line it up in the track. So we have this corner right in the track there, and then we're going to keep it there and then just move this bottom piece. Let's see if I can't let you see that a little bit better. There's my mark here. So I'm moving it so it's right in that track. Here's my paper trimmer track. And turn it so I can see it better. Okay. Again, what we're going to do is go ahead and lift up your clear plate here. We're going to grab our paper cutting one, which is the darker of the colors, and I'm going to cut from the middle first, just because I don't want it to snag on these corners. I'll cut it all the way up and cut it all the way down to that 2-inch. Then you should have this beautiful looking Z-panel fold ready to go, and then you'll have this wedge. If you don't want to have these score lines, score line it after you cut it, but I didn't care. That looks fine for me. Okay, now we have this piece. We also need to grab our largest piece of our designer series paper, because that's the first one that we have right here in our card. And we are going to measure it up against this guy with a pencil. In order to get that nice angle on here, it's about 1/8 of an inch around all that border. So I'm going to take this pencil and I'm just going to mark it on my paper here. I'm going to go right about here, so a little bit below the corner of it. And I'm going to go, let's see, about 1/8 of an inch right about here. So that's not too bad. Well, let's go a little bit above. Again, put that in our paper trimmer. Line up your marks to your trimmer. And then we'll do a nice little slice here. Make sure it's where it needs to be. There we go, that looks a little bit better. And get my blade right there, cut it up, cut it down, and let's see how it measured out. Oh, it looks pretty good. I went pretty high here, but that's okay. So it's going to be a little bit, unless I push it up a little bit more, then it'll be a little bit equal. It'll be a thicker on the top here versus the bottom, but that's just totally fine. It won't even be noticeable. All right, so for the next ones, we do not need to measure again like that. We just are going to line it up with this guy here and do our cutting based off of our first one. I'm going to use just my paper snips. You can use your paper trimmer. You can even mark it with your pencil, then use your paper trimmer. But I'm just going to do a nice little cut there and see how that one turned out. So that looks pretty good for our angle. What I want to do then is a little bit too long on this bottom. So I'm going to put it in my paper trimmer and literally take off just a tiniest bit. Okay, now we'll measure this one out. That one looks good. And then we'll do the same thing for this guy here. Line it up. They're on top of each other. Again, these are all 2 inches wide, so they should be about the same width. My paper snips. Line it up, see how it looks. This one, oh, it's not too bad. I also am going to do just a tiny smidgen off that bottom though. Mostly because my first panel is just a little bit not as much of a border. So I want to make it look similar. Double check it. That looks better. Okay, then we have one more left, our last panel. And the rest of this is basically a little bit of stamping and just gluing our layers. So once you have this little mechanism figured out of how to do this cutting, then you're good to go. Okay, let's see how this one turned out. Again, the angle looks great. I just need to snip off a little bit off the bottom to make it the right height. Okay, we'll check that out. There we go. That one looks better. Okay, our pieces are ready. Let's go ahead and move our paper trimmer out. And let's do some stamping. So for these white pieces here, we will want to stamp our 2 images. Let me get them better in the light for you. There we go. I'm using Gray Granite as my color of choice for today. I also have a stitch rectangle that we'll get in view because we need to stamp on this one too, from our Stylish Shapes. But we are going to stamp this larger panel with the Gray Granite and the bouquet. Go ahead and ink that up. Check it out, make sure it looks like it's inked really nicely. Earlier, my first ink through was a little bit lighter, but that's okay. Go ahead and stamp that one right there in the center, cute. Then this one's just gonna have our saying, which is sending well wishes your way. So we'll ink this one up. Check it for halos, looks pretty good. And go about center for this one, center top. Push and press, lift up, looks good. Then we have our front piece is gonna have our spoon and our words. I'm gonna do the spoon first. The spoon is really cute. It has like these cute little, let's see if we can focus in, sorry. Focus. There we go. Has little hearts coming out of the spoon. It's like a spoonful of sugar or a spoonful of medicine, depending on which you need more. All right, we're stamp this on our stitched rectangle. A little bit of an angle, not too bad. Press and lift up, looks good. And get our words, the wishing you a speedy recovery for our front. Flip it, make sure you have no halos, looks good. And go center above that spoon. Cute. Okay, so for a little extra detail on this guy, we're going to color in our flowers here using our Stampin' blends. And I have the mint macaroon and I have the Calypso coral. There's no rhyme or reason how you color these. So I'm just going to go ahead and color my little heart. I couldn't find my light Calypso coral, so we are just going dark. But this is definitely my favorite color to pair with this mint macaroon. And I'm just going to do a little of these flowers here. And I'm using just the tiny little nub side instead of the brush side for this, because these flowers are fairly small and I don't need a whole lot of ink. I'm going to do just a couple over here too with this color. And literally for these circles, I could just like do little dots. There we go. Okay. For this one, I had the leaves were the lighter color and the flowers were the darker. I'm going to go opposite this time. Maybe. So my lid for this one has issues. There we go. So it always comes out. Let me show you this. So this is how you refill it. But now this isn't as secure. So whenever I take off my lid, they both want to come out. This is the dark one. We are going to use the dark one for our leaves this time. Again, just go along little dots for this one with a little nub. So right now we're just getting, I don't know if it's the end or the beginning of 6th season. I've had a lot of kids miss school, both at the school I work at and my own kids, just because they've gotten these runny noses and just need to stay home and get better. So hopefully you're not in that boat and you've been feeling well, and all your friends and family too, but just in case, this is a great stamp set to have on hand for when you need it. Because nothing's nicer to hear when you're sick that someone's been thinking about you. Okay, cute. I'm liking it with that darker leaves. And we're going to go through with the flowers and just do with the light macaron now. These are kind of untraditional colors for flowers, so you can change them up depending on what color of designer series paper you use. I do love this foil-sided Splendid Day one though. I think it's been overlooked, and you haven't noticed it maybe with other stamp sets. It's only been used with the suite that it's a part of. So this is fun. We'll get a couple more of these. And you'll notice I'm coloring with the gray granite as my stamped for my image. Usually I use Memento black, but since my gray granite is also water-based, it totally can work with our stamping blends. Just make sure it dries before you actually start coloring. Oh, and for the tag, I do like to go around the inside of it with that light color just to give it a little bit of outline to it. There we go. Super cute. Let me get that closer so you can see. Beautiful. I don't want to color in my centers of my flowers, but I do want to use my Wink Estella. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of wink in each one. Super cute. So it keeps it clear, but it has a little bit of texture to it. Let's go ahead and color in our hearts real quick on our spoon as well. You can do whatever color you want. I'm just doing the light one this time. Last time I did a mixture of the light and the dark of the mint macaroon. You can do completely that Calypso coral. You just want to keep your color scheme the same. You want to add a whole new color now at this point. Okay, that is this piece for our panels. Let me go ahead and get ready to glue those on. But first, let me show you two more things. It takes just a hot minute. I've stamped our tissue box and our cup, and this stamp set does not have dies or a punch to go along with it, but I want to show you just how easy it is to make a stamped image into a 3D image, even if you don't have a punch or die, just by fussy cutting it out. And this one is a fairly easy shape. All I'm doing is grabbing my paper snips and going around the outline of it. Moving my paper, not so much my scissors. I did take off that excess paper just so it's easier to work with. And most of this box is just a square, so it should be fairly easy to do. Cute. And that was stamped in the gray granite. Doing the same thing for the cup. The only thing about this cup that makes me sad is that we are losing that really pretty floral bottom when we cut this out. You get rid of this extra here, easier to work with. And this one has even some cute little hearts on here too that you could totally go ahead and use your stamping blends to color those in. Okay, cute. I'm gonna grab my light stamping blend. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna do a little bit of that coral for this one this time. Just give it a real pop of color. There we go. Love it. Okay, let's go ahead and attach these to our panel here. I'll get that in view. I think my camera scoot too far away from my table, so I apologize. Everything needs to be up on the top side. All right, liquid glue is your friend for these panels. Just go around the outside, giving yourself a little bit of border when you do it because you want to allow some squish room. And line up to the bottom, to your top, and move as necessary. And then smooth it out. Looks good. So our next panel, which is our cute little flowers here. Again, a little bit of liquid glue, following the shape of the paper, giving yourself about a ½ inch, maybe a quarter for squish room. Lay that one on, try to matching it. Where we want to match the most is this top part here. That's where the wow factor is by looking at that angle there. Glue this one on. This one looks like it's a little bit taller. I might do a quick snip off that bottom. See if I can cut really straight. Ooh. Okay. There we go. That's looking better. And our last piece here. Oh, that's awesome. Just a little bit off, but I think we'll get away with it. Okay, for this part now, these two pieces are going to be the ones that are going to be down. So we're going to do some folding. I'm going to grab my bone folder though to get these to fold just right. Here's our middle crease. We're going to fold this one, crease it, because that's going to be, oh, actually this one's going to be up. Center up, and this will be down. Okay. So when we glue it on, it'll be like that. Kind of like a W is what it's going to look like by the time we're putting it in. Okay, now we just need to add all of our layers. This is a very layered card with, actually, I forgot one piece, our belly band. Let's get that one ready. Let me grab my wipe, because we are switching out the color of ink. So make sure I clean off my stamp. And we are using that cute little bouquet again. This time we're grabbing the mint macaroon, and we're going to make a belly band right here with this mint macaroon piece. It's like a 1 inch by 8.5. And we're just going to stamp the floral part. You don't need the little ends or stems, but I am going to turn it around so that way we can see it from different spots. Let's see if we can't sneak that one in. That looks good. And that's a good spot for that one. Cute. Just creating a little bit more decorativeness there. Okay, that's the end of stamping. Now we can get our layers together. We have that gray granite card base. We also have our basic white and our mint macaroon. Glue those two together. So this card is a lot heavier than usual. So you probably need extra postage when you send this in the mail, or just hand deliver it to your friend that's not feeling so well. All right, so there are, you'll notice, 2 different sizes for this. And the smaller one goes on the front. That bigger one will save for the inside. So we attach this one right there. Make sure your borders look good. Flip it over. Add the liquid glue to this part and put it on the front right of the score. So that will be our card base front. There we go. Flip this over. Now we're going to do the inside. So this has 2 pieces of basic white and 2 of our designer series paper. See, here's the other side. Super pretty, and this would even look amazing in here as well. If you wanted to switch it up, you just look to see what that would look like. That is super pretty, but I think, what do we think? Should we keep it the same? I think we're gonna keep it the same. So I just love that foil side. Grab your liquid glue, go around your edges, attach it to your basic white. I'm telling you, this is all about the layers. Kind of gives it that really wow factor though. Flip this part over. So there's many different Z folds out there, and this is just Lisa's favorite, or she calls it her best, the best one. And she is an amazing demonstrator based in Florida, who I think was our #1 last year in the US, if I remember right. She is just amazing. Great videos, super personable. So if you haven't checked out Lisa yet, be sure to swing over and look at her videos or her blog. It's a little appreciation to her. Okay. That looks pretty good, pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my bone folder just to fold this in real quick. Oh, it is heavy. Crease that so that it's ready to go when we're ready. I still need to add our little pieces here. So let's go ahead and grab some dimensionals, put them on the back. Oh man, my lighting is super bad today. I apologize, you guys. I could turn it off and you would just see probably nothing. 1 second, let's take a chance. Is it super dark now? Yeah, super dark. We'll keep it on and just have some extra shadows. All right, tissue box has it. We're gonna line it up right here, kind of having it go along with our panel of items here. Cute. Just make sure that they're staying within the panel and not going over. Then let's open this up and we're going to put some adhesive on this piece here only first. Okay, this is our far right side with our little greeting. Flip it over. You can use your liquid glue if you have a lot of dry time. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal and just put it on there on all four. Usually I'm pretty stingy with this, but this time I want to use it really well. Get some full coverage there. Then we're going to take this part here and we're going to go corner to corner into the complete outline. Right there, and stick it down. Make sure it's even. There we go. Then we're going to open this side up. And we're going to do it on the very last one over here. So that's where our DSP and our tissue box is on the back of that one. Go around all your ends for this one, a little bit even in the center. There we go. Now, instead of just laying it flat, you do need to actually line it up again. So we're going to go corner to corner. Well, corner, yep. And then make sure our top piece here is where it needs to be. Like it's picking up on me. Hold on. There we go. Turn it just right so it's lining up. Press down so it can attach. And it should fold nicely. Oh, we did it. Look, it closed on us, so that's always a good sign, and opens back up. Oh, so cool. There we go, the inside and that beautiful, beautiful paper. We just need to finish the front. So what we're going to do is grab that belly band, which you're probably saying, Rachel, this belly band is too short for this card. So what I like to do is just go behind. Sorry, there's a little glue spot from my hand. Let me see if I can't take that off real quick. These are getting some bonus tips. Here's my beloved white eraser, which I use as a adhesive remover. There we go. So not only does it take off any spots, but it allows it not to be sticky afterwards. Okay, that was gonna bother me. Sorry about that. Okay, line up your belly band. I'm using my grid to help me know where that it's going to go on full straight. I fold it over on one side, fold it over on the other, and look, they almost reach, right? Almost. Not quite, but that's okay. We're gonna grab our dimensionals, keeping our fingers on here, put one on one side, one on the other side, remove the backing, and then we're going to grab our cute little spoon guy. Remember him from before? And we're just going to place it right on top, about center. Hold that down and press. And there we go. We've created a nice belly band that can come on and off. There we go. We'll take it off one more time. And it opens up to our beautiful, beautiful card there. Oh my goodness. Such a pretty card. Let me close this one back up, maybe. Let's see if I didn't make it too tight. Oh, nope, we did good. Close this one back up. And we'll open this one. There we go. So you can see them both side by side. Just beautiful, beautiful layout here. I'm really loving the Speedy Recovery. So if you don't have this one in your stamp room, be sure to visit my online store to add that to there. Use the October Hostess code. And please comment, you guys. This is a long video. I appreciate you watching the whole thing. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.